But the truth is, we're not going to achieve really much of this in the next 4 years until we get our financial house in order. None of it's really going to happen that easily. And when I worked, it seems like a lifetime away, but when I worked in marketing and sales, I bet you some of you don't know that, I learned that you needed to ask some hard questions and have some frank talk sometimes to produce some executive decisions. In other words, you needed to really get comfortable asking the tough questions, even if you knew sometimes you were going to get a response you weren't comfortable with. And I know that isn't always pleasing to some people. Sometimes it's a bit unsettling. I have a New York habit, a New York state of mind, I call it, always cutting to the chase, but sorry, I come by it honestly. But one of the things that I've told people is in the 4 years that I've served on the council, that I've actually found that many politicians have an aversion to those conversations, those difficult conversations, especially as they're getting ready to run in an election. But I guess I would ask one rhetoric question. If you don't level with the voters before an election, how can you expect them to support your decisions after the election? There's a connection. So here comes some of my rhetoric. To hear some of the candidates in the race for the at-large seats this year, you would think that actually all we have to do to solve the enormous fiscal challenges that are before us, that all we have to do is sit all council members around a campfire and sing Kumbaya. No, it's going to take people who are willing to do the work, people who have experience, and people who are willing to talk the truth, even if that does mean you disappoint friends. Sometimes in public service, that's what you gotta be prepared to do. I think I've probably made a habit of that, but I'm proud of that because, again, if you're there simply to preserve your reputation, you're not willing to take the leap of faith in the people that you work with, you're not likely to make any real lasting, meaningful reform. And I've seen that over and over again in the work that I've done in the community. In fact, Phil referred to it. The truth is that if folks had adopted the cost of living proposal that we came up with 2 years ago, back in 2008, we actually wouldn't have had to furlough anybody this year. That is the truth. And the bottom line is we're not done making hard decisions. Tonight's theatrics outside, the appearance of the disgruntled employees, and my heart goes out to them. It's very clear that the conversations we're going to have at the council leading up to the end of the calendar year, but going into the next budget cycle, are going to be most difficult. And the only way we're going to get through those conversations is if we level with people. And we're just going to have to tell the leaders of the county employees unions, yes, we want the very best teachers, and we want the best services, and we love our dedicated and hardworking employees, but the county government is not an employment agency. We're here to serve our million constituents, not just the fortunate ones who carry a union card that they should be proud of. And we have to have frank conversations with county administrators too. We want the best and the brightest, but we can't afford gilded salaries in Rockville if it means we're eliminating bus routes, closing health clinics, senior recreation centers, and even some neighborhood golf courses. We all have to listen to the communities because that is the Montgomery County way. That's really our job, my job as an elected official, to listen to everyone out in the community.